The country is still reeling from the devastating shooting attack on the Las Vegas Strip in the early hours of Monday morning. But when things like this happen, whether it's in Orlando or on a baseball field in Northern Virginia or the site of some devastating natural disaster, I always think back to these words by Mr. Fred Rogers.
Always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers.
And just like before, this time in Las Vegas, there have been plenty of helpers, both in and after the chaos. In the immediate aftermath of this attack, we're seeing reports of people throwing themselves on others to protect them from gunfire. People like Mike McGarry. Reuters reported that he had footprints on the back of his shirt from being trampled as he said, "I laid on top of the kids. They're 20. I'm 53. I lived a good life." We're also hearing reports of people selflessly jumping into action and providing first aid to the wounded right there on the ground, like this.
Thank God it was a country concert. You saw a lot of ex-military just jump into gear. I saw guys plugging bullet holes with their fingers. The amount of bravery I saw there is just, words can't describe what it was like.
And we've also got reports of people who chose to stay on the scene and help evacuate the wounded to safety, some even volunteering their own vehicles.
And then I went out and there were a couple of bodies there, and started loading them into the back of a truck.
So we finally got an ambulance right here on this right across the street here, and got two of the guys in, and basically the one guy ended up dying in my arms because he was bleeding. Then my buddy got in there. We got 3 more people in the ambulance.
And we're also seeing that in the wake of the attack, people have been lined up out the door to give blood for the wounded, while others have been assisting our brave first responders on the scene. You know, it's folks like this that show us no matter the horror we experience, we can find beauty and hope among the ashes of a tragedy, and we find it by looking for the helpers. As politicians and pundits show us just how swampy they are by jumping on this tragedy for their own political or cultural agendas, these real heroes show us just what it means to be an American, to be a good person, and to be a real everyday hero. So to all the helpers, all the heroes, those both in and out of uniform who jumped in to help their fellow man in a time like this, thank you, and God bless you. For the rest of us, we have to remember that there is always a need, and it's never too late to find out how you can be a helper. Maybe you can give blood, maybe you can send money or supplies, or maybe you can be a good friend or a good family member for someone rocked by this horrific tragedy. Be that person. Maybe what you can do is pray and grieve with your fellow Americans in spirit, and say that prayer and share that grief. When we're confronted with something as heartrending and as evil as what we've seen in Las Vegas, we always have to remember to look for the helpers. And then we have to figure out how we can be one. I'm Nate Madden, and this has been Off the Hill. Thanks for joining us.